So the Irish state is now battering its own people for protesting. Now, this is what's to come, folks. And I'm just going to tell you that whenever I was down at the Irish nationalist protest, the first time I went down to Dublin, outside the Garden of Remembrance, a couple of months ago, I witnessed the riot police in Ireland, and I seen what they were like. Now, there was the normal police, the Gardaí, and then there was the riot cops. Now, the riot cops are completely different. We have riot cops up here, up the north. They try to de-escalate the situation, I've noticed. I've seen the riot cops. I've been involved with the riot cops up here in the north. I know what they're like. I know what they're about. But the ones down south look for blood. There's no denying that now. Whenever I was at the Irish nationalist protest, I seen the exact same coloured uniform that you seen in NewtownmountKennedy, and they were the same riot police that were in Dublin. And now what they're doing is they're basically battering their own people. They're battering the Irish people for protesting. And one of the things that stands out to me, whenever I was in Dublin at the time, after the confrontation I had with Antifa, I walked around the side and I seen the riot police, and they were wearing the exact same uniforms, and they were bouncing. They were jumping up and down. They had the masks up around their mouth, and they didn't look like cops. And there was a ring of police Gardaí around the Antifa protecting them as the nationalist protesters walked by. But then to the side of that, on the footpath, there was the riot police. I put my camera not in their face. I wasn't provoking them, but just to record the situation. And they were bouncing up and down. They had the masks up over their face. They were mimicking the Antifa crowd in the counter protesters, i.e. Antifa. And they were telling me, the person who was recording them, that this is where we stand on things. If it pops off, we're going to batter you. I find it quite cute because I'm not really used to being around cops that don't carry weapons. So it never at any stage that I feel unsafe around these cops. You know, what would they do? Take out a bat and hit you around the back of the legs? You know, there's nothing they can really do up here. All the cops up here get issued a standard issue Glock. It's a bit more, you know, it takes the sting out of the situation. I'm not going to lie to you. So to see these riot police and the Gardaí, not all the Gardaí, because I had a conversation with good Gardaí that were 100% fine, that were outside the Garden of Remembrance, but definitely when it came to the riot police, the ones that you seen dragging that lady in and basically battering her, they're looking for blood. They're looking for blood. All those ones have an ego problem. They probably all have small penises, and they've joined the riot police because it gives them that excitement that they want. So that's what you've witnessed there, and that's who they are. The state is battering its own people to force a hugely unpopular immigration policy. I'm watching videos on Twitter of Irish women in tears being pushed around the road by Gardaí in NewtownmountKennedy in order to force through a deeply, deeply unpopular immigration policy. And I am reminded that this is now a familiar sight. And that is an absolute disgrace. So that's what Grip Media has to say about it. That's what 3/4 of Ireland has to say about it. 3/4 of Ireland have stood up here to the Irish government and says, we do not want this type of immigration in our land. You're allowing thousands of undocumented males to come into Ireland and basically take over. You actually favour them. And in some cases, and actually a lot of cases, you're allowing homeless native Irish people to die on the streets, while at the exact same time, migrants can come in, be given a hotel, a house, food, clothes, a phone, money, everything. So what would be the purpose of that? So when the Irish people say no, the government counter that with tyranny. And that's what you're seeing today. It's absolutely disgusting. And then it's escalated now where they're using physical violence. Those riot police used physical violence on that lady. Absolutely disgusting. You've seen it. You watched it. They dragged her in. There was no need for that. They escalated the situation because they wanted to do that. They hated the protesters. They hate the protesters. So you have to assume that the Irish government is hiring people to go down to these protests, whether that be via NGOs hiring Antifa, giving Antifa money, or via straight through to the police, i.e. the riot police, that have been indoctrinated by this far left ideology that want to bring violence onto the Irish nationalists. And that's what you're seeing. What you're witnessing here is basically another version of the Brits. Not the Brits today, because the Brits of today are good, decent people. Even back in the day, whenever it was happening in Ireland, the British population, the majority of them were against what was happening to the Irish people. But what you have today is you've got a whole subsection of people that work for the Irish government that support European tyranny, i.e., the mass migration into Europe. Ireland being the most extreme with its incentives that it gives to the migrants to come in, with the financial incentives at the very least. And they join the police and they want blood. They want Irish nationalist blood because they have no nationality themselves. These people are not nationalists. These people do not love Ireland. These people are NPCs. These people join the riot police and hate you because they've got nothing better to do with their lives. They've got small penises. They've got no ego. And they would rather be ruled by somebody than rule themselves. And that's what you're seeing. Brits out, radical Sharia law in. It's absolutely mental what's happening in Ireland. Who would have thought the days were being, if you called yourself an Irish nationalist, you would have been called a racist and a bigot. That's what I'm trying to warn the people of the North here. You called yourself an Irish nationalist. You're coming out with all your different flags, Palestinian flags, whatever, your Irish flags. To wave an Irish flag in Ireland, in the Republic of Ireland, you're considered a racist and a bigot. So that's to come, folks, here in the North. If anybody's watching me in the North, that's to come. So you think that you're left-leaning. Well, you go down south and you tell the people that are countering the nationalist protesters, and you say, well, I'm an Irish nationalist, you'll be kicked out. You'll be called a racist and a bigot just for considering yourself a nationalist. Sovereignty is a thing of the past. They want rule. These people want rule. They want to indoctrinate your kids. They have no qualms about allowing your kid to cut their wiener off. They don't care. That's what they want. They are being used by big business. They want a complete culture change, a religious change. Bring in Sharia law. You think you're going to laugh at that? Just look at London. Proof is in the pudding. Hurry up and gangs all over England, covered up by the police. Thousands of victims coming forward, and anybody that speaks up about it's considered a racist. It's absolutely disgusting, folks, and that's what you're seeing here. The average person in Ireland, the average Irish nationalist in Ireland, has to be willing to be battered by the state just to get their point across. Disgusting. Nothing will be done about it. These people want blood. But all I can say to the people of Ireland and NewtownmountKennedy is, you've done brilliant. You've done a fantastic job. You stood strong. You put your chest out and you said, no, I'm not having it. How many migrants are they going to bring into that small town? How many people are they going to bring in that nobody knows who they are? They don't even speak English. Completely different culture. Women probably can't. Women are probably going to be afraid to walk around the streets. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but the vast majority of these migrants come from countries where it's Sharia ran, where women don't have rights. You're thrown off the rooftops if you identify with the alphabet people. Think about it. You're bringing them into a little small town. It's not going to mix. Then on top of that, 14,000 native Irish people are homeless and 4,000 of those are children. So now you're putting resentment and bitterness in the hearts of the Irish people. Who have the Irish people elected? Well, they've basically elected the start of a tyrannical dictatorship. Who will take the lead? Who will be the king? We don't know. Hopefully it's somebody that can liberate what's actually happening here, because right now I don't see liberals actually being liberals. I see them being dictators. It's crazy times. So to the people of NewtownmountKennedy, you've done fantastic. Keep going. Keep protesting. Don't worry about those bloodthirsty riot police. Just know that most of them have small penises. They're there because they don't have an ego. They've got too much of an ego. And, you are not the West Brit. You are not the anti-Irish. You're not less of an Irish person for wanting to preserve Ireland. These people want to destroy Ireland. They are the New Age loyalists, without a shadow of a doubt. And that's what you're seeing here. So they are the traitors. And that's my 2 cents on it, guys. That's the end of the video, guys. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think. If you want to go buy me a coffee, the buy me a coffee link can be found in the description in the comment section, along with my X and my Rumble links. They're the free speech platforms. You want to go follow me. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace.